My name is Dana from Mimi's Little City Homestead. Today I'm going to make classic peach jam, and the way I like mine is kind of smooth, not too chunky like a preserve, so I'll be using a hand blender to smooth that out a little bit. You can decide how you want to make yours. If you want it chunky, cut into small cubes, just put in and smashed, however you want to do it. But first thing I'm going to do is peel my peaches, and I have 3 pounds of peaches here for this jam recipe. And the reason I'm not, some people put an X on it with a knife and then dunk it into boiling water for a minute, then take it out, put it in an ice bath. The peel comes off real easy. I'm just going to peel mine real thin, and I'm going to save my peels because I'm going to use those to make a peach jelly. So I have right here, can't see it, one of my measuring cups full of water, and in that I added about a half a teaspoon of citric acid. So when I'm done peeling my peaches and I cut them up, I'm going to drop them in that water to keep them from turning brown. You can get the citric acid anywhere, several different brands in the store, online, however you want to do it. So I'm going to just take this and start peeling my peaches, and then I'll bring you back when I get most of them done. Just going to start out the very bottom and just peel away. These are nice bright peaches, so they're perfect for making jam. Also, after I'm done making the jam and the peach jelly, I'm going to make peach pie filling. Put some of that up, so that'll be coming up in a few days. I've got to get these peaches taken care of. They don't stick around for long. Gonna make sure there isn't any spots like this one. Oh, nope, just go around it, make sure there isn't any spots on it that you need to cut out. You can kind of just cut your pieces right off the stone usually. If you have freestone peaches, you shouldn't have a problem getting them off of the pit. If they're cling peaches, the pit sticks a little bit more to the fruit, so kind of depends on what you got, how you want to cut it up, but this is how I like to do it. And I also keep the pits to put in with the peels when I make my jelly. It usually turns a really pretty pink color, and it has good flavor to it, just as much as the fruit does, I think. So I'm going to save that along with those. Since I'm going to blend mine, I'm only going to cut it into like half pieces. I won't have to worry too much about trying to smash it down. But like I said, if you like yours a little bit chunkier, more like a preserve or a chunky peach jam, you cut them up or smash them up, however you like to do it, whatever you think you'd like to end up with. So I'm just going to keep working on these peaches, and I will bring you back. So this is a small batch, as you can see. There was 3 pounds of peaches called for in the recipe, 5.5 cups of sugar, and I'm going to use Sure Gel regular pectin this time, and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And we're using the bottled lemon juice because remember, this one is this is what has a standard acidity to it. If you use real lemons, they can vary in acidity from one lemon to the other, so we just go ahead and use the bottled lemon, and that's 2 tablespoons. Then we're going to take it over to the stove after we put our pectin in. That's 1 package or 1 box. Pour it right in with the fruit and the lemon juice, and then we're going to just turn it around to the stove and stir that together and bring it to a boil. There is peaches. I'm going to turn my heat up to about a medium high and get them heating up. It's supposed to make 7 8-ounce or 7 cups. And since I'm using the jelly jars, which are 8 ounces, I should get somewhere around 7. I may only get 6. I guess it all depends on your peaches, how you peel them, if you have any bad spots you need to remove. So we're going to bring over our sugar and have that ready to add as soon as this comes to a boil. Over here I have my steam canner, which I've showed you in several videos, so I won't go over all the details on this one much. Just has my gauge in the lid, and I've got my jars in there heating up. So we want to bring the water in our steam canner to 180 degrees, which is not boiling. It's not even really simmering. Now, if you want to hot water bath these instead, you can. I just use this because it only takes 2.5 quarts of water in the bottom. Don't have to have a big canner. And the steam is what processes it, so you don't have a bunch of water in over the top of your jars. So I use these, and all those jelly jars fit in there. Quarts fit in there, pints fit in there. But you can water bath this, and you would do the same thing. You would heat your water up in your water bath canner to about 180 degrees, and when you put your jars in, that's when you put the lid on and you bring it up to a full rolling boil before you set your timer. I set my timer based on this gauge. When it gets in my area, which I know what it is from my elevation, then I will start my timer, and we're going to can these either steam bath or water bath 10 minutes. Because we're canning for 10 minutes or more, we don't have to sterilize jars and lids. I washed my jars, they're getting hot, and then I washed my lids and rings, and then I put them in my basket and have them ready, dried off and ready to put on the jars. I don't heat those up. You don't have to do that anymore. But if you like to do that, or think it's best to do that, you do it however is comfortable for you. I don't have a problem and haven't had a bad seal or anything bad happen with my jars just by washing and drying the lids, which I've done for a few years now. So we're heating this up, and I'm going to have to bring you back after I go grab my immersion blender, because once I get this all put together, these chunks are way too big. I like mine really smooth, actually, almost like jelly, but of course it's jam, not jelly. So it'll be smooth though. That's how I like to make mine. It smells really good like peaches in here. So I'll go grab that and bring you back. Well, I couldn't find my immersion blender quick enough. I should have had that out first thing, but I didn't. So what I did was get out my potato masher, mashed it up pretty good. And now that's not even as thin as I like it, but it'll work for today because I couldn't find the blender. And then we're gonna pour in our sugar, and now we're gonna bring it back up to a boil and boil it for exactly 1 minute. So there's our sugar in there with our lemon juice, peaches, pectin. Bring that back up to a quick boil. And that needs to be a rolling boil, which is one you cannot stir down. As soon as we get that up to a rolling boil, we'll set the timer for 1 minute. Now it's starting to thicken up, so you want to be sure to hang out here this whole time while you're cooking this. This isn't a walk away thing, because you will scorch or burn your fruit and then it's all ruined. So stick right with it. Give it a stir every now and then, and when you see it start really bubbling, then you want to stir it constantly. Okay, now we're getting to a boil that you can't stir down. I'll bring you down so you can see in here a little bit better. See all those bubbles coming up as I stir it? They keep coming back. You can't just stir it down and get it to stop. So we're going to set our timer for 1 minute and stir it the whole time and just let it boil. And this really is a quick recipe. I mean, peeling your peaches, pitting them and getting them ready is the hardest part. About 6 seconds. After that, we're going to take it back over to the island and get ready to jar it up. There's our timer. So I will take it over to the island and let it sit for a minute, bring you around. I'm gonna grab my jars out of the canner. They're all heated up. Get those ready. So we're all set to jar it up. It's good and hot. Jars are hot from the canner. Bowl of vinegar to wipe around the tops. With this one first. And I'm bound to make a mess, because I always do, seems like, but that's okay. As long as I get them in there and it sets up, that's all I care. About 5 jars. I think I had a little less fruit in there than what I thought I had, but it said 3 pounds of peaches. We won't be getting a whole 6, I don't think, let alone 7. But I'm going to finish filling these, and then I'm going to wipe off the rim. Get those ready to go into the canner, so we make sure there isn't anything sticky on here, none of the fruit or the sugar or anything like that. So my bowl of vinegar here. I'm gonna go around the rim. I always use vinegar. I like it because I think that if there were any kind of sugar or fruit left on there, I think the vinegar would take it off a little easier than just water. So that's why I always use it. These are hot too. But I also put my vinegar in the canner, and that keeps the jars nice, getting water deposits from my water on it. So now we can put our lids on. And then we're going to put our jars or our rings on just fingertip tight, meaning when it catches like that, just a little small turn. Nothing heavy duty. Don't use your full strength of your hands. Don't use your elbows. Just give it a quarter turn like that. Put the lids on, and then we'll get them in the canner. Okay, so I'll turn you around here to the canner now. Checking the water. Yep, it's still up to the edge of the can. The water in this goes right up to the rack. And I always check it after heating jars, especially if it takes me a little long to can something, because it might need more water added back to it. That's a pretty color for peach jam. So now I'm going to put my lid on. This is a Fruit Saver canner, and I'm 1,000 feet or below sea level. I'm going to be zone 3. Once it gets down there in my zone, I can start timing 10 minutes. So I'll bring you back after the 10 minutes is up and we get ready to take them out. Okay, so my 10-minute timer went off. I shut my heat off, left the lid on for the steam to settle down. I'm going to open it away from me because there's still steam in there. And get these out. Starting to seal now that they're coming out into the cooler air. Now this doesn't mean they're totally permanently sealed. Some might not seal right away. That's why they set for 12 to 24 hours. They need to be totally cooled down, and you remove the rings and then check the seals at that time. Turn you this way. Now there's the jars popping away. Looks pretty good. Nice yellow peaches. Where'd you go? There you are. So there's our jars of peach jelly. Looks pretty. So after 12 to 24 hours, like I said, check the seals, take off your rings. Don't store anything with your rings. Wash your jars if they're sticky. Don't put them away in your pantry, as dirty jars or anything that could dry ants. And don't forget to label your lids, put your date on. And don't forget, if you make this, save your peach peelings. You can make peach jelly. It's really tasty. And it's just out of the peelings and the pits. And we're gonna do that in our next video. I'll show you how I do that. I'm gonna gather up more peelings because I'm gonna make a peach pie filling and can that up in quart jars. So that'll be the next video. So in the meantime, thanks for stopping by my channel. I appreciate it. I always feel like I got somebody with me when I'm canning, so that's pretty nice. It's going to be a lot of big thunderstorms tonight, so it'll be a good night for resting up. And then tomorrow it's supposed to be bad weather too, so I'll can the peach pie filling tomorrow. Hopefully everything turns out good with that. And then I'll show you the peach peeling jelly video when we make that. So thanks again. If you have a moment and you think these are interesting videos or you're enjoying them, please like, subscribe, and share. Leave me a comment. That helps my videos get out there further. And thanks again for stopping by. I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.